Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about Jihaad Campbell and how he could be a real option for the Bucs despite his injury. For those of you who do not know, before we get into the Jason Licht quote, as you guys can see here, Jihaad Campbell underwent surgery after the NFL Combine to repair a torn labrum in his shoulder. There is a significant amount of doubt, I should say, as to whether or not Jihaad Campbell will be ready to start the 2025 season. That has had a lot of people a little confused on where to put Campbell in terms of his draft stock. Now, he did run a 4.52 40-yard dash, had a 1.53 10-yard split, 10-foot 7-inch broad jump. He is still projected to be a first rounder, by the way, at least according to Lance Zierlein. And in a lot of mock drafts, he's still getting mocked to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a significant amount. But when asked on how he weighs drafting injured players that may potentially miss rookie minicamp and training camp, Jason Licht had this to say. I guess you weigh it in a little bit. You can only evaluate what he puts out there and what he has out there, so you weigh it a little bit. You don't ideally want to bring in players that have a history of being hurt, so we work that into the algorithm, if you will. You ideally want a healthy player, so you have to weigh it in a little bit. So there is a bit of a give and take there, okay? Jason Licht is saying, look, ideally, you don't want to draft injured guys. Jihaad Campbell, he's currently injured. Okay, so a lot of people may say that and say, see, strike from the record that Jihaad Campbell will not be coming to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But whenever you hear stuff like, you weigh it in a little bit, you ideally don't want to bring in players that have a history of being hurt, so you do work that into the algorithm. It's a little bit of a give and take, right? So they weigh it a little bit, but they also say, ideally, you don't want to draft a guy who has a history of being injured. That's very different than a guy who, is only injured once, right, and may be good to go moving forward, okay? I feel like there's a distinct difference there. So I would see this quote, and by the way, this question was totally asked in regards to the possibility of drafting Jihaad Campbell. Okay, I mean, yes, you could apply this same logic to players somewhere down the line. The Bucs have drafted players that have had injury concerns. Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis are a couple of guys that kind of come to mind. So it's not a big stretch to say that the Buccaneers would still consider Jihaad Campbell here. In fact, I wouldn't say that it is a stretch at all. But there is a give and a take answer here from Jason Licht. I still believe that Jihaad Campbell will be somebody who will be under consideration for the Bucs at pick 19 if he is there, according to this article from Pro Football Rumors coming in here. Teams may want to get a better look at his medicals before investing a first-round pick. The recovery period for a torn labrum can vary, but it is unlikely Campbell will heal up in time to participate in rookie minicamp or OTAs this summer. Now, if the Buccaneers have some idea like, hey, Jihaad Campbell can still be ready for training camp, he can still be ready for the regular season, that is something that I think will help the overall case. Now, apparently his status for training camp may even be in doubt. And though he may be close to full health by the start of the regular season, his new team may be taking a cautious approach. We'll have to wait and see. The Bucs also did take a very cautious approach with, a lot of different guys, Kalijah Kancey being the most recent example of not rushing him back from his injuries. They had a very similar situation where in his rookie year, Kalijah Kancey was not available for the Bucs. So they have had this scenario before. You could take that as hey, they know what to expect, but you could also take that as they don't want to go through that again. So again, there is a lot of interesting thoughts and opinions here. In my opinion, James's opinion, I still think that Jihaad Campbell is a real option for the Bucs on the table. This quote from Jason Licht is a little bit of, hey, we do weigh it a little bit, which would make you think, okay, well, that's not that big a deal to them. But then you see the second half of the quote that says, ideally, you want healthy players. So there's a give and a take there. But what do you guys think? Do you think Jihaad Campbell will be an option for the Bucs at pick 19? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.